Welcome back to MarkOneModels. Today we'll be talking about a movie vehicle, one from an iconic film directed by George Lucas that featured a star-studded cast and was even the breakout role for Harrison Ford, who drove none other than wrong George Lucas film, the '55 Chevy from American Graffiti. Our kit is from Revell and contains a pre-painted metal body with plastic interior. This is a skill level 2 kit for those interested in a simpler build. That doesn't mean we can't put our best effort into it and detail it up wherever we find the opportunity to do so. So stick around to the end and see how this turns out. As I said earlier, the body comes pre-painted in black and has the chrome trim, glass, bumpers, and lights already completed. It also comes with an opening hood. To bring a little more reality to it, I used Tamiya panel liner to black out the grille. The only other add-ins for the body is an included rear view mirror and a skull to hang from that mirror, which was a nice added touch from Revell. We'll get back to the build in just a moment, but I wanted to take a moment to remind you that if you like these videos, feel free to give a like and subscribe and share with your friends. Don't forget to make sure your notifications are turned on so you won't miss an episode. You can also follow along on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads pages, and you can find those on the links in the homepage. Now let's get back to the build. The interior is nicely detailed out of the box, but I wanted to add a few more details. The steering wheel comes all black with solid spokes, but the movie car had chrome spokes with holes in them. I used my pin vise to drill out the spokes, and then my chrome pen to color up those spokes. Likewise, the sticks on the steering column needed to have that chrome touch, so I did all of those as well as all the window winders for the door panels. The upright panel behind the front seat was a bit fiddly to get to sit correctly, but CA glue and holding it in place with tape finally got it to sit right, directly under the white tonneau for the back seat, which included the roll bar. For the frame, I kept everything as it came from the box, but the firewall gives us a few opportunities to add some details. The brake booster and battery received some accent colors as needed. The one spot I could really spruce things up was the engine itself. It comes molded in black in 2 halves, and you add the heads that have molded on exhaust manifolds, add in the intake, water pump, belts, fan blade, distributor, and generator. I checked, and the transmission should be black, so I masked that off and painted the engine orange to match Chevy's '55 model year engine color. I marker painted the oil filter, starter, exhaust manifolds black, and gold painted the molded in carburetors. The air filters received some white paint for the paper elements before attaching them to the cards. The chrome valve covers fell right into place all on their own. For final assembly, the interior screws into the body first, then the chassis, which ended up being a bit tight around the engine bay side of it, but I was able to get it in with some careful twisting. The upper radiator hose cannot be installed until after all these sections are in place. I chose to do the wheels last. They do come with bigs for the back and littles for the front, and that is just in the tires, not the rims themselves. The kit uses metal rods going through the axle and front assembly, but are a bit on the short side and a tad too loose. I ended up sitting the model on its roof and using CA glue for each wheel assembly, fronts done first, then to the rears and let them all dry. The completed model looks pretty good, and I added in some quick details where I could. Even with those few extras, I had this completed in just under 2 hours. Is this going to be winning awards at the shows? Not very likely, but it sits nicely on my shelf and looks good doing it. What are your thoughts on it? Do you ever take on an easier build? I find it a good way to refresh from more complex builds. How about you? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. As always, thank you for watching MarkOneModels.